Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to the Black Mirror. Before you skip ahead, please allow me to explain this reading because this isn't like your traditional tarot reading on YouTube. Some of you may be wondering, what is the Black Mirror? What is this reading about? It might sound a little menacing or maybe even a little scary for some of you, but what this is actually designed to do is be an illumination for aspects, beliefs, or patterns that are residing within your shadow self or your subconscious, all for the sake of you removing or maneuvering around your blockages, both emotional and energetic, to help you really live the life that you want. Consider this kind of your mid-month shadow work reading. While this reading isn't explicitly about any one area of your life, it's not about relationships, career, or life purpose, it's actually more directed towards your personal and psycho-spiritual growth and development. But in this way, it actually can be about all of these things. You may be recognizing this pattern in one of these areas of your life, if not more. The reality is it's probably showing up in all areas of your life, so this is a very powerful reading. And it's just a really good way of getting kind of focused on what is it that I am doing, how can I better maneuver through my life. I do welcome you all to check out the general monthly readings I have on my channel. Those are more of the traditional readings if you're trying to figure out what externally is going on around you. This is more of a reflection. This is more of an internal reading, just something for you to consider. And this video was technically created with the time frame between the middle of February to the middle of March in mind. You may hear me referencing some astrology throughout this, but ultimately trust that the message and wisdom of this video is going to find you as it is meant to. Allow it to speak to you if it speaks to you. Don't worry so much about the time frame. It's ultimately a timeless video. I do have links in the description box down below for all of my social media. I have a Facebook, Instagram, and website where I post pick-a-card readings, and I also have sales and discounts. You can find all of that good stuff. And of course, I have my services in the description box as well. Lots of good things down there, really, always worth a peek. And a link for donations for those of you who feel so called. Now, I do want to see what comes up for you, Aquarius. I'm very curious. As I'm shuffling here, I do want to just remind you that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to resonate with everyone. I always set the intention for these general readings to reach the people who need to hear them the most. So if I didn't pick up on your energy, nothing went wrong. I just wasn't picking you up in this specific group. However, because we are also peeking into the subconscious mind, it may not be readily apparent to you right away what this pattern is, how this applies to your life. So again, just kind of consider it. It might be helpful to go back to this video a little later on, maybe a week or two down the road, to see if anything is resonating or starting to make sense where it didn't before. You are also more than welcome to look at the videos for your moon, rising, or Venus signs. I actually think the moon sign in specific is very good for this reading, so if you don't know what your moon sign is, I do have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below, and that should be able to help you figure that out. If you don't know your birth time, though, if you don't know anything about astrology, and you've found this video, ultimately, just trust that your intuition has guided you here for a reason. So let's see, what are the messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Show me clearly. Let's see. Okay, so we have a few cards that have fallen out for you already. That's a bit too many. I'm just going to take these for now. We do have the moon. And I do apologize. I've been trying to get the lighting right for this setup here. I did just change my backdrop, but it's kind of having a hard time picking up the cards. But we have the moon. We also have the Wheel of Fortune and the Artist, both coming out together. But let's take a look at this moon, because this is actually what is going on in your conscious mind. You know, you're very likely aware of this energy right now. And what's funny is that the moon itself does represent the subconscious. The moon itself does represent confusion, uncertainty, heightened emotions, intuition, but not necessarily having a lot of clarity, not necessarily having a clear sense of direction for your life right now. And I think for a lot of my Aquarius viewers, you seem to be in this kind of period of your life where things seem a little confusing. You might feel like you're kind of just in this limbo. Your emotions might be all over the place. And when I'm looking at your reflection here, when we're looking in the black mirror, we do have the Artist and the Wheel of Fortune, which tells me that there is definitely something you're supposed to be changing. There is something that you are supposed to be turning over here with this wheel, and I do feel like you're supposed to be making these changes, and you might not be wanting to do that. Some of you are almost preferring to kind of stay in the shadow energy, which is interesting because with this specific read, we're really looking at ourselves. Okay? Sometimes other people may be coming up, but even that, those people are a reflection of you as well. You are in this situation where you're kind of intentionally not seeing something here. Or you're kind of just letting things flow. That might not actually be a bad thing. You know, with this Artist card, there's actually a lot of creative potential here for you right now. Oh shoot, I almost had that. And it does tell me that for those of you who are creatives, or those of you who are looking at creating a new life for yourself, dreaming something up here, that's how you're supposed to kind of use this uncertain energy. But I have to wonder if some of you are kind of staying in this liminal space because you know something needs to change and you're resisting it. I'm almost getting this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And I don't do reversals typically with this reading, but I do feel like there's kind of this blocked energy with this Wheel of Fortune. You're trying to hold off on something, and maybe you are trying to figure out what it is that you really want. What is it that you want to change? And some of you really are supposed to be testing your faith right now too. Okay. So this is actually energy that is not showing up, and I'm going to explain this in a second. We have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Wands. And this is actually kind of confirmation for what I was picking up with this moon energy. Some of you are not dealing with a situation head on. Or you're in the situation where no one's really wanting to speak about it. No one's really wanting to address this pain that's here with the Three of Swords. And it's almost like in you trying to escape this, in you trying to avoid this pain, this Three of Swords, whatever this heartache is, or even betrayal for some of you, you're actually prolonging it. And you might be doing that in kind of this seemingly innocent, dreamy way. And I don't want to lose any of you, but it's almost like this kind of love and light sort of spirituality. And that's kind of almost the shadow, ironically, of the New Age community, where you have these people who are so fixated on love and light. They're so afraid to look at anything else. They don't want to acknowledge anything that's going wrong because they're afraid they're going to manifest more of it. In this case, though, this is already an energy that's here. It's not about creating it. It's here. You're not seeing it, though. You're not addressing it. There's this heartache that's not being addressed. And we do have the Knight of Swords with the Two of Pentacles. This is actually showing up as the crack in the mirror. This is how you break this pattern. And with these two energies, it's like you're trying to rush in at times, and then you're trying to weigh out your decisions here. You're a little indecisive, actually. But it's not even just like indecisive as in you're not doing anything. It's like you're rushing in and then going back and then kind of second guessing yourself. It almost feels kind of like a Libra energy, actually, funny enough. And maybe some of you have Libra placements as well. But it's almost like you going back and forth a little bit. And you need to acknowledge this, that this is going on. There's something you're not addressing. And you're kind of keeping yourself in the dark on purpose here, which is interesting. And I don't think this is any one specific thing, Aquarius. I actually think that this is a pattern that's showing up in a big way for a lot of you. This might just be how you deal with hard situations or conflict. For this specific group right now, you're just not dealing with it. But it's actually preventing you from going forward. It's preventing the end of this cycle. And you do need to charge in here. You do need to be direct. But you also need to figure out what it is that you actually want. Because I think for some of you, because there's this lack of willingness to be present with this pain or this discomfort or this conflict or tension, to be present with the things that don't necessarily feel good, you're not learning what it is that you actually want from that. Because our negative emotions, they actually are very powerful teachers in their own right as well. They're teaching us so much about what it is that isn't in alignment for us. And because you're only treating the discomfort, you're focusing on your emotions, almost kind of, I wonder if some of you are actually like medicating or just using something to distract yourself from your emotions when your emotions aren't the problem. You may think your emotions are the problem with the moon here, but your emotions are actually trying to guide you towards something. And instead of trying to change how you feel, it's time to start changing your life and making decisions that are in alignment with your heart, with your emotions. So let's see. I'm really curious now to pull a color healing card for you. And there's a lot of different ways that you can use this color. Really, the limits are your own creativity here. And we have Emerald. Calm your mind, body, and soul. Yeah, there's a lot of like restless energy. And you do need to make a change. You do need to move something here. But you need to get present. You need to ground. Because it's like you're scattered in all of these different directions at once. You're not able to go in the direction you need to go in. So let's see how this emerald color can help you. For those of you who do energy work or color therapy, emerald could be a helpful color for you to kind of calm your nervous system and maybe heal your heart as well. Some of you are dealing with some heartache or been avoiding that heartache, and maybe this color will help you reconnect with your heart a little bit. So let's see. We have emerald, which is 30, breaks down to a 3. Emerald helps with overcoming fears, releasing frustration, and creating calm. Use this color to bring harmony to challenging situations, dissolve aggression, and mend a broken heart. Emerald also increases self-esteem, attracts abundance, and replenishes your energy. Calm your mind, body, and soul with emerald rays. Go to a garden and take a deep breath of fresh air as you focus on all the greenery around you. Place your hands on the grass to feel the healing, calming energy it contains. Imagine what it would be like to be a blade of grass, growing without resistance. Breathe in its emerald rays, allowing peace and calm to flow through you. Say, "Divine love, I rejoice in the wonder of nature. Every time I focus on the greenery around me, I feel calm, perfect balance, and harmony." And for those of you who want to do this exercise, but you're in the north like I am, where it's snowy and cold out, you can actually do this exercise with plants, house plants. You don't have to necessarily go outside, or even do this as a visualization. You know, visualize yourself going through a garden. Get really into it. Really smell the smells. Feel the sun's rays on you. Feel the wind. Hear the wind chimes. Whatever it is that really helps you get into it. But connecting with nature, especially connecting with plants. Plants are incredible teachers, actually, because they literally, what is it that plants do? They breathe. They literally remind us to breathe. They literally remind us to take a moment to stop and meditate. You know, the Buddha was enlightened by the Bodhi tree. So really, plants are actually teachers of enlightenment for a lot of us. So spend some time with some plants. Spend some time with nature. I actually think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of you, Aquarius. And that's actually pretty much it. I do hope that this reading was helpful for all of you. I'd love it if you like, shared, and subscribed to this video. I'd love to hear comments as well. I'm always curious to hear what people do with these color healing cards. If you think of something, let me know. Let us all know what your ideas are. Again, I have links in the description box down below for readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called, as well as all of my social media. And I actually do have a discount code for those of you who are looking for a 10% discount on a reading. That's actually just going to be running until the end of Monday at midnight, Monday the 24th, so there's still a little bit of time to redeem that. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Aquarius.